Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I am sort of starting a new project. So, for the longest time for me, sketchbooks have been basically the only surface I work in. I don't do any painting outside of a sketchbook, and it's honestly become a bit of a crutch because in a sketchbook, pretty much anything is permissible. You can just brush it off and say, well, it's just a page in a sketchbook, and that's it. Nothing has to be complete, nothing has to be polished. It is what it is. And while I do tend to create arguably finished pieces in my sketchbook, it's always there as kind of a crutch of not having to do backgrounds or really considering composition or really putting in the work, because it's just a sketchbook. It is what it is, and it's a place to freely try things, explore, and not worry about creating a polished piece. So why am I saying this while I work in a sketchbook? Well, I think I'm ready to start letting my sketchbook be more of a sketchbook, a place where you can explore and play and try things that then eventually lead to something bigger, something more polished, more complete, more thought out. And I've been wanting to take on a project for a while. It's something I've been considering for a fair bit, and I just haven't started it yet. And there's so many barriers, and a lot of them are really legitimate. I'm very busy. I have a lot of work. Then I take classes with the form and rendering class with Justin Donaldson. And while those classes are great, it almost becomes a game of at what point are you constantly in a state of preparation and never actually in a state of doing something. So while I love those classes and I don't love constantly being busy with work and stuff, but that's a completely different story. I'm ready to start actually making an effort to do something more and really put into practice a lot of the things I've been working on for years and years. So just to illustrate my tendency to not create outside of a sketchbook, the only things I've created that weren't in the sketchbook over the last, let's say, year would be a couple of artist trading cards, a couple of small paintings I did for friends, and one larger painting I did for my mother-in-law for Christmas last year. So not much. And of those, most of them were birds and one was a scenery piece. So not what I normally even paint. So it's not good. It's fine. You paint what you love, you do what you love to do, but I'm ready to actually try to push myself and stop using the it's just a sketchbook excuse to not finish something. So what does that mean? Well, that's what kind of ties back to this painting, this sketchbook page. I have been doing, from time to time, pieces that typically involve hands. A person being restrained by hands is a common theme over the last many years of me painting. Whenever I get really stressed, it's something I tend to paint. And for me, those are about just generally feeling constrained or not having control over my current situation. And so I think that's a theme I want to explore more and turn into some larger pieces. Now, to be clear, larger pieces doesn't necessarily mean it has to be big. I do have watercolor paper that's still in its original wrapping. I have some arches that I think is 9 by 12 that's open. I've used a few pages of that. But I also have a larger pad with the really heavy paper that I bought years ago. It's still wrapped up. It shouldn't be expired. But it's about time I start playing with these and, I don't know, exploring, but also trying to create something bigger, more polished, more finished, and putting in that time to plan what I'm doing instead of just doodling. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to go. I don't want to say I have low expectations, but I can see myself continuing to kind of slack off. I feel more committed to the path now than I have before. And it doesn't mean that all of my art has to be focused on this one theme and this one project. It doesn't mean that I can't still play around and do like little things on the side. It's not even like I have to create one piece a week or one piece a month. It's just something I want to work toward, even if it does take me a long time to do it. I might have a bunch of attempts that don't work out and I start over. I don't know. But hopefully, I don't know, maybe I'll get started on that and realize I don't like that theme, or I don't want to explore that theme, or I don't even like painting at a certain scale. And that's fine too. It's just about putting the effort in. So, yeah. So for this piece, this painting, this page in my sketchbook, what is this about then? Well, this kind of ties into those same themes, but what I want to do with my sketchbooks is use them more for what sketchbooks really are meant to be, and that's about exploring ideas and thinking through things, testing things, and also kind of have a judgment-free zone. So this, I painted like an angel boy sometime in June maybe, and I remembered how much I really love painting hands, and I just wanted to do something that focused just on a single hand so I could kind of play with how I've been painting skin lately, but really focused on just the hand. And I knew I was going to keep this pretty quick, just because I, once again, try not to spend too much time on things right now. I'll talk about some other things going on in a minute, but I just wanted to play with this a little bit and try something out and see how I feel about it. And I don't know how I feel about it. This took me maybe an hour and a half. Eventually I'll get to some shiny paints, some mica paints, and I kind of regret that choice, but I think part of me wanted to go back to the beginning when I first started doing the kind of hand theme. Back then I was really into the mica paint, so it's just kind of going full circle. And once again, this is about play and exploration and not trying to necessarily create a finished piece. So I'm saying a lot of words. I don't know if I'm actually saying anything because it is quite late, and I just decided now is the moment. Now is the moment. I should be creating a voiceover. When you get the motivation, go for it. So, moving forward, what does that mean for videos? I will probably continue to do sketchbook pages and more chill things for at least the foreseeable future on YouTube. And my main reason there is because for me, there's a certain barrier of entry to paint something on camera. And that can be like time of day. It's too bright. There's direct sun coming through the windows. The lighting's wrong in the room. There's too much background noise in the room. I can't focus. The cats are being obnoxious. So there's like all these like little things that can stop me from filming. And then even sometimes just after a long week, the last thing I want to do is sit at a desk. I want to be able to be in a different room away from the office kind of setup and have a little bit more freedom. So in painting these bigger pieces, I definitely have a hard time working on something in more than one session. Normally, if something takes too long to finish, I get tired of it, I get bored, and I just want it to be done and I rush. So I want to minimize that barrier to entry and make things easy for me to get back into. So if I want to paint and I have half an hour and it's in the middle of the day, the sun's shining, the room's warm, I'm not like, well, I can't paint because I can't film right now. It's fine. I just go in another room and I do what I want to do. So that's part of it. The other part of it is my workspace is really small, and I don't know if I'd have a good setup for the larger paper size. And also, filming can be stressful. You're at a bad angle well, in my case, I do the top down, so I can't really get up over the page. I'm always looking at it from kind of a weird perspective, and it does create perspective issues within the painting itself. So I really want to have that ability to get up, move around, climb on top of the painting more or less, and really see it from different angles as I work. So initially, I'm not planning to record some of those items I plan to work on, and I don't have it all planned out by any stretch yet. And like I said, I might go too big or try something too complex and it not work out. I might fail repeatedly, and that's okay too. So not filming it helps. And I want to try different media again. I know I want to play more gouache, which I'm actually planning to take Justin Donaldson's gouache class again because I have a bunch of friends taking it and I want to take it with them, but also it will be a really good refresher. And then obviously watercolor. So we'll see. I also have acrylic paint I've not used, so maybe that's another area to explore. We'll see. So that's all I really have for today. Just a quick little painting and a plan for the future. So we'll see how it all goes. The only other thing I have, because this is such a short video, is I made sure to record Juno and give you a Juno video because it's been a while. I will warn you, she's being a little bratty in this video. And by that, I mean I'm harassing her so she hisses at me. But let it be known in advance that like I stopped harassing her like right after I stopped filming. And not 5 minutes later, she was standing behind me, leaning her whole body into my back. So she was very affectionate that day, and she just likes to be a little bratty at times, and I'm a little bratty right back to her. So with that all being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope you're having a good day, a good week, and I hope to see you again in a future video. If you've taken on any art projects, I'd be curious to hear about it. Let me know. Otherwise, I see Juno now, so I'll leave you to her fluffiness, and take care. Bye.